there, welcome to my video on how to use prerequisite lessons in your Thinkific course. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use prerequisite lessons and why it is important and how it can help enhance the learner experience. I'm also going to show you how you can customize the message in your Thinkific dashboard with regards to prerequisite lessons and show you some other tips in Thinkific related to this prerequisite lesson. So let's get started. I'm already logged in. I'm just going to save some time and off these videos and sort of get right to it. And I'm already logged into my partner account. So if you could do the same and log into your Thinkific dashboard, and then let's take a look at a sample course that I have here, and you can follow along as well. I'm going to sort of use this instructional course on how to launch your online course in 4 weeks. So if this is the course that I plan to sell, but I want to add a prerequisite lesson, I'm going to show you where you do it and sort of some key things to consider. So let's just assume that if I'm teaching people how to build an online course in 4 weeks, that for me, as someone who's always taught and really believed that the learning experience and how we teach is really important, that it's really important to have prerequisite lessons and prerequisite assignments. And so there's that kind of goes on that you can do it two ways. You can make individual lessons, individual assignments in a module. I call it module, but Thinkific uses the term chapter. You can make them each individually requirement before they move on to the next lesson and or module or chapter. And you can also make the entire module a prerequisite. So in this first module, week 1 to 2, let's just assume that this entire module is really important, and there's really no point for anyone taking this course to move ahead to anything related to content or marketing and sales until they complete the foundational first week lessons. So let's just take this lesson for example. So everyone is going to have a different kind of approach, but I believe from my experiences teaching and creating courses and in different kind of industries and settings that having prereqs is really key. So if you take a look at this one lesson, if I'm going to make this all the lessons in this module a prereq, then basically I'm going to click on here to make this a prerequisite. So you might just see that it's not checked when you logged in, but once I check it, then it will become a prereq. And then I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to continue. I've already, for the sake of time and for this video, continue to make all of these prereqs. The idea is that I really want to emphasize to students taking this course that the first week is really essential. And I really believe that once you complete all the videos and lessons with the first week, then you're ready to move on. Now, if you're asking me like, hey, like this is great and I can, make all of this, a prereq, but what if I only want to have like a quiz or a worksheet as a prereq before they go on? How does this impact the rest of the course? So in this scenario, let's just assume, let's just uncheck this. And let's just assume, let me take a worksheet, and let's just say this worksheet is the only one that needs to be a prereq in this course. So the way it's structured is that once I make this a prereq, once this is completed, then they'll be able to unlock the rest of the content in the weeks ahead. But going back to this, if I decide to not make this a prereq, then everything will be sort of open to the student to review at their own pace. And this way, then they have the flexibility and autonomy to sort of learn on their own schedule and learn at their own leisure. So I'm going to then undo this, not make this a prereq, just so that you can kind of see what happens. And then as you see, I'm not going to go through the rest of it because it is kind of tedious and I don't want to waste your time. But so then what happens is all of these, once the key is removed, so right now these are there setting as prereq, but once it's removed, then a student will be able to see all of these lessons beforehand. But let's just say once this is done, then they'll be able to access week 3. So that's just a really important kind of tip to sort of consider. Do you want to make the entire lessons in that module a prereq, or do you just want to make a single assignment a prereq? It sort of depends on the kind of content and the material that you're teaching. Like if you're teaching something around like science, like anatomy or physiology, where there are some basic foundations that a student needs to master before they complete other kind of science-related topics, then you might want to then really consider making all the lessons in a module or chapter a prereq. So now I want to go into showing you then what happens when a student sees that some of these content and lessons are prereq, because then you'll be able to sort of customize the message to sort of show your student why you've made these specific lessons a prereq. So for the prerequisite messaging, you'll want to go into your settings. So I've already clicked on settings and then look for the learning content tab. And then under the learning content tab, you will see that there's all these different kinds of messaging that you can customize. And I'm going to look specifically for this prereq. This is going to show me that I can customize the message so that students know, how I feel and sort of why I created a prereq. And so I could say these lessons are set as a prerequisite for your learning experience. Take your time with each lesson. Take your time. Yeah. So the idea is it's very short, but the idea is I just want to show students that this is the message that they'll see. So I'm going to save this, and then let's. So now then I want to show you what it looks like as a student in this course. So assuming, let's just focus on this week 1 to 2. So like I said, some of the lessons are made as a prereq, but some aren't. But what you'll see is like for this lesson, like why begin with broad versus specific, I've had it set so that this is a prereq, and then I've given a little bit of a kind of message to let students know that this is a prereq, to say these lessons are set as a prerequisite for your learning experience. Take your time. The most important thing is the message is short and you can customize it, and it's just to let students know in case they see it and they're frustrated because they want to skip ahead, that you really want them to take their time and to not rush through the lessons, because it's so easy to want to skip around and rush ahead, and it's important to also take your time. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is to how to customize the video player settings. Some people have asked what happens when a student watches a video and they don't fully watch the video, they may only watch part of it. Is there a way to sort of verify it? And the best way that you can do it, I'll show you, but I will kind of mention a word of caution that it's not always recommended. Like I understand like we want to sort of really support and encourage students, but I think it's also important to remember that students sort of have their own way of learning, and that sometimes if we remove the video player, the time control in terms of not allowing students to speed up or move ahead in a video, that can really frustrate them if they're really excited and eager. Maybe they're just, quick learners. So just kind of wanted to give you that word of caution. But to go back, let's just look at how you would remove the time player that you see here in the video so that students can't move ahead on the video just because you may be concerned about them rushing ahead. So the best way to do that is go back to the dashboard and then go back under Manage Learning Content and then go to your video library. And then let's just pick a random video here on how to launch using our pre-sale strategy. And then look for this, what they call in the web style guide, is this is called a hamburger menu. And so click on here and you can click on edit. And then under edit, this appearance show play bar, this is where currently it's set. If you go back here, to this video, you see that this is play bar, and this allows students to skip ahead. So that's currently the default setting. But if you turn it off, then what happens is that the play bar is hidden, and they cannot fast forward or skip ahead through their video. So we can go back and take a look. So remember that in this, before I show you the play bar, that you want to make sure that this setting applies to all existing videos, to click on yes. Once you click on that, then let's go here and take a look at my video. And so here I can play the video, but
it's sort of like a mini sort of guide.
I can play this video. As you see, there's a play button, but I can't necessarily fast forward or skip ahead during this video. So that could be a way that you design the course so that you really ensure that students fully watch the video rather than skip ahead. But as I've said before, I don't really recommend it. You want to sort of think about your students and how that everyone is very unique and everyone's very different, and to just allow students to have that flexibility to determine what their own learning experience looks like, and to help them be empowered to learn in their own style. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any comments, feedback, suggestions for future videos. Give this video a like, subscribe, and let me know how I can help you. Thanks again for watching, and talk to you all soon.